Hello, hello, little monsters. So, we're back again with a little bit more pre recorded readings tonight. I felt like this would be a better idea to round out the end of the week because I have enough people that I need to read for, and I just felt like maybe it'd be better to get to them and do a pre record and then start, next week fresh, even though next week I'm gonna not be able to stream until midweek, I believe, or maybe I don't know. It's either beginning of the week or end of the week. Anyway, I figured this might be a better way to do some readings so that this way I can just stay focused. These were readings already pre-requested. Some of them are paid for, some of them are my free slots, but basically that's how I'm choosing to do it today, because I just feel like that's a good idea. So we have a friend of mine that we're going to read for, and I'm going to read for them first. So, Moose, this reading is for you. You're going to be first in line. Because you have not asked for one in a while. Ignore that. So, I am actually going to draw a couple of cards for you, Moose, because you have not asked for one in a while. And you also did pay for yours, so you did pay to have a couple more cards drawn. So we're gonna go ahead and do that for you and see what happens here. Okay. Okay, this feels like an interesting group of dragons that we have for you, Moose. We're gonna see what they are. Okay, very interesting. Okay. So, Moose, your first card with these little dragon babies is the Air and Fire Dragon. So what I'm getting from this for you, first off, is I get the feeling that you've been feeling a little bit, I don't want to say unstable, because it's not really the energy that I'm getting from this. But I sense that things have been a little bit turbulent. And what I mean by that is I get the sense that you haven't really had a chance to slow down. Like, in some ways things are better than they were, and then they have been in the sense that things are more clear to you than they've been in the years past, but I feel like there's a lot of turbulence. Still, I feel like the fire in this card, that the dragon seems to be kind of summoning out of this volcano, I feel like that's you. I feel like you've become more aware of the power that your choices have, and the direction that you want to go in life, or at least you have more of a self-awareness than you might have before. But I also feel like the air in this card, I feel like there's still something going on in your life where you don't necessarily feel 100% in control of your space, if that makes sense. So I feel like you're still kind of struggling to maintain a sense of like consistent direction. I feel like there are people in your life that kind of try to blow you off course, or try to blow you over here, or try to distract you from things. So I feel like you're still kind of battling that. That's your first card. So for me, it's not really negative. It's more just you're still establishing your own wants and desires in your own direction, but you're still kind of dealing with settling fully into that. Going into the next card, you have the Fire and Earth Dragon in reverse. And so what I'm sensing from this for you is just like the fire in the last card, which is kind of your passions and your skills and your sense of self that you're learning to manifest and shape in your own way. I feel like that fire in this second card, I feel that because you're getting more skilled at knowing what you want, I feel like your previous foundations, that is represented by the Earth Dragon here, I feel like your previous foundations are becoming a little less stable. They're becoming a little less sure. This is not necessarily a negative thing, but it means that this is also part of where the turbulence is coming from as well. That the more and more and more you come to understand yourself and what you need and where you'd like to go, where you started from is becoming less and less supportive to you. So the ground in this card is kind of cracking open underneath the movement of the fire in this card. And to me, that's really representative, even in the upside down, that you're having some disruption. What I'm going to say, though, in relation to the upside down element is that there's a part of you that doesn't feel prepared for what is happening to your foundation or what is likely to happen to some parts. Now, this doesn't mean it's an exact free fall necessarily, but this card is recognizing some of your feelings of like, I'm not sure if I'm prepared for all of that. All right? So this card is just kind of recognizing there is some fear. There might be some uncertainty of like, wow, can I handle that? My feeling is yes, you can, but it's going to take being more flexible and maintaining a sense of calm and a sense of why you're doing what you're doing, so that even when old patterns and old support systems become disrupted, you don't fall through the cracks, so to speak. Okay, your final card, Moose, is the Aquamarine Dragon. I'm gonna interpret this as like a water dragon, because they're basically underwater here. And they're kind of holding a trident. And they seem very sure of themselves and where they're going. So I read this last card as two things. Number one, in relation to the last two cards, you may be dealing with a lot of different emotions around this process. Maybe a lot of emotions that you haven't dealt with in a while. But I also get the sense that this is a card reminding you that how you feel and how certain people in certain places make you feel is an important thing to keep in mind and an important thing to take into consideration when making decisions. There are the kind of emotions that are flighty and change and are there 1 minute and gone the next. Those are, of course, feelings that we don't want to use to make plans with. But this card says there are deep, persisting, consistent feelings that you have around certain places, people, things, and that those need to be used as a compass and as a continual motivator for you to continue to grow and to do the things that you're doing, especially in those moments where you feel like, wow, can I trust myself? Am I really doing this for the right reason? This last card is saying yes, because there are certain feelings that have not changed in months or years, and those feelings can be trusted. Those feelings must be honored when moving forward or making plans or changing plans. Okay? So overall, Moose, these cards recognize that you've been going through it. You've been going through a lot of change, a lot of self-discovery, and that you are a strong-willed person, and that at the end of the day, you know who you are, you know what you want, and you know what you need. And it's perfectly okay to start making changes in your life that reflect all of those things. I hope that was useful to you. I know that was like 11 minutes long, but literally, you earned it. Okay? You earned it. And so if any of you other little monsters want a long reading like that, I will be setting up more official spots so that if you want to donate for a longer reading, you can certainly do so. There is no obligation to do so, but definitely that is a good way to get a bit longer reading like Moose just did. All right. Next on my list, Miss Brakka has asked for a reading. So for these ones, I'm going to be drawing one card and one card only. And this is because these next readings were in my free reading slots. And typically for those, it is one card. So, Miss Brakka, let's see which dragon is for you. Okay, not this one, but this one. Okay. Miss Brakka, you have gotten the Fire and Water Dragon. So as I tap into this for you, I sense that you have had a lot of situations lately where you have needed to, no bones about it, advocate for yourself, advocate for your needs, and that you've really stopped playing nice with people. And what I mean by that is when you've needed to, you've said, actually, no, I'm not okay with that. Actually, I need this kind of support. Actually, I'm not going to be putting up with that anymore. So that's the first thing I get for you from this card. I'm not really sure how that relates to what you may have been specifically asking about, but I also do sense that all this personal advocacy you've been doing lately, whether you like it or not, this advocacy part is here to stay for you. And I sense on some level that you've always known that you are a person who is made to speak up and to protect other people. But I also get the sense from this card that there's been a part of you that has resisted kind of growing into that role on some level. Maybe on an unconscious level, perhaps. Now, I also want to tap into the water aspect of this card. So what I also get from that aspect of it, so for me, water has to do a lot with personal flow, emotions, the way that energy flows, the way that feelings flow, and how beneficial they are to moving forward and cleansing stuff out of your life or out of your path. I'm sensing that your emotions have been relatively stable. I don't sense a lot of turbulence, and I think that's one of your strong qualities that I'm feeling from this card, and that a lot of people admire from you. For the most part, you are relatively calm, collected, you are reliable. I see you almost like a water well kind of person, in that people can depend on you. They can trust you to always be there for them in a certain way. And I feel like this stability has really helped you. I feel as though it will continue to help you. As I turn into this card, though, the one word that I keep hearing over and over again is growth. And every time I hear that word, I'm focused on this dragon's wings that are made to look like huge sun-drenched leaves, as if they're spreading above this dragon and growing towards the sky, growing towards a light that we don't see. Because there is no sunlight that we can see on this card, but that's just what I keep getting for you, is that you're working toward growth, and that almost life itself is forcing you to grow and to contemplate the need for that growth and to expand beyond a small definition of yourself or where you're supposed to be or what you're supposed to do in life. And I sense you may already know this, so I may not be saying something you've never heard of before, but this card is really highlighting that for me, and that you have the resources and the spirit and the emotional stability to go through that growth without having too much turbulence of the self. I do sense there may have been some resistance, either in the past or the recent past, towards some of this growth and change, but that recently you may have started to accept that on some level. And that I even sense there might be a little bit of growing pains. I don't know why I'm sensing that, but it's almost like a plant that's starting to outgrow the pot, in a way. And so this card is there to say it's part of that process that you're going through, and that you have what you need to get through it, and that everything you're going through right now, there's a reason for it. Okay. So next, we have Renfield, and then I'm going to do Reaper. Anybody for Renfield in here? I see. Okay. Interesting. So, Renfield, you got the green dragon. It's been a while, I think, since I've seen this dragon get pulled up. So we have this dragon who's completely surrounded by the forest, by trees. So the first thing that I get for this for you is I feel like there's been a lot of details that have been kind of bogging you down almost. Like literally I'm hearing losing the forest through the trees. In the way that I feel like the day-to-day details, or like the little nitty-gritty details about how to do something, or how one should do something, or whether it would be appropriate to do in a certain way. I feel like this card is coming here to acknowledge, Renfield, you're getting kind of stuck on details that may or may not need to be hashed out yet in order to move forward. So it almost feels like you went out into the woods, you went out into your personal wilderness, aka the part of your life that's unexplored, originally with a mission of, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going over here with this specific purpose. And then it almost feels like partway into that journey, you kind of got just like zeroed in on the details and going, well, this tree and this branch needs to go this way, and the leaves need to go this way. And so you haven't quite made it to your destination. So I feel like you're this dragon right now where you've almost gotten paralyzed by all these smaller things and need to get back on the bigger picture. Like, need to get yourself back on the map, back on the quest, basically. And it's not to say that these details don't matter. They do. They will have their time. They will have their place. But if they are taking you off course and they are making you take too long, then it's not helping you. And so this card is just kind of a reminder, hey, where might we be spending too much time? And where might we be getting stuck that we don't need to be stuck? Let me see if I can get one more. Okay. So I literally heard this dragon say, remember your good roots. In this case, remember the beginning, the root of your idea, the root of what you're going out here to do. Go back to that and start over if need be. Go back there, then work out again. I literally just heard that in my head, like the roots. Go back. And they're saying specifically the good roots because there are some things in your past that have been holding you back, that have been rooting you to the spot also, like this dragon. They are rooted to the spot that they're currently sitting in. So they're distinguishing and saying, go back to the helpful route that will lead you forward. Just like how we have routes or routes on the highway, some of those are useful to move forward. Same thing here. So I think this dragon is just trying to give you a little nudge and get you to get moving forward again. And don't worry, you have people and helpers to support you. You just gotta do it. All right. Now we gotta see this dragon keeps getting stuck. It's like, no. Come on, you. Come on, you. Okay, which one of you is for Reaper here? Okay, I think we've got the one here. Yes. Okay. So, Reaper, you got the silver dragon today. And this dragon is here to remind you. Keep your mind and your spirit on those higher goals and those other things that you keep thinking about wanting to do. This dragon literally is giving me the energy of, it's almost like you keep sinking down into the muck. You keep getting pulled down into the day-to-day, the drudgery, this is what I've been doing for ever and ever and ever. This is my routine. This is, how I kind of get stuck in it. And this dragon is literally telling me, hey, Reaper, do not forget about where you would actually like to go. Don't forget about those higher goals up in the other layers here, about what you want to try to do in the meantime. And I'm also literally hearing just like you would give yourself time to take a meal. And even as I'm saying that, the dragon is telling me that you need to be giving yourself more time to eat, sleep, stay hydrated. This dragon is also saying you need to spend some time where you can on developing those things that you are truly passionate about, those things in your life that glimmer like silver. That's what they're showing me. That it keeps getting lost in the muck. It keeps getting lost in the routine. Time to carve out some time to work on those things that will take you into another level of what you do with your life. This is not saying immediately leave your job or leave your routine, but this is saying implement into your routine some time to work on those things that would bring you up a notch. All right? Okay, my little monsters. This pre-recorded video ended up being a little bit longer than I thought it would be. I think I've gotten to most of the people who requested readings. I will try to get back to doing live tarot Probably not much next week, but maybe the week after. So if there is any more tarot time that we do, it will be pre-recorded. So if you would like to request a reading, please comment below. And I will also be updating my information on how to get a paid reading if you would like one. Alright, my little monsters, I hope this was helpful, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.